Hey everybody, so a quick recap. Today was pretty exciting on the second Workbench stream. We were working on this now playing in the status bar project, which isn't all that exciting, except we're doing it with JavaScript, and we ultimately, and it took a lot longer, but ultimately it's about 20 lines of JavaScript. I started out, previously we had this demo with the window and a button that updates and all this stuff. So I felt pretty comfortable that given the Cocoa APIs, I'd be able to put this together. So I started out just doing an application that shows a menu, and then changing it so that it doesn't show up in the dock, which is really just making it not do certain activation policies. So it's actually simplifying it, and then eventually got to the status bar API, which I ended up not having a menu on it. I know how to do a menu, but now since this script is ultimately about just showing some text there, and so that's kind of the cool thing, is that this is all using Cocoa Apple APIs in combination with some of the other scripting stuff. This is basically Apple script talking to Spotify, getting the current track. And another example of what's kind of crazy about this Objective-C bridge in JavaScript, it's dynamically creating a class that you can then create an instance of to use for delegates in the Cocoa APIs, or all the Objective-C stuff. It's interesting, this JavaScript environment doesn't have set interval or set timeout. But that just means we can use an NS timer, which we can schedule this task, which is basically just setting the status bar item. It has basically a button that you can't really tell, but it's a button, and then you set its title, and we wrap it like this to make it an NS string. It takes Unicode, so we can just throw in an emoji here and it all works. So that's how we get that. And track name and track artist. We're running this every half second. So if I were to go to the end of this track and kind of wait for it to end, or if I were to start another track or something like that, it updates pretty immediately. And of course, this is not run with a script editor or as a bundle or anything. It's just a plain old JavaScript file with an execute bit. The shebang just says use OSA script with the JavaScript language, and that's it. I have this running in the background using LaunchD at the moment. Eventually I'm going to replace it with my supervisor that we worked on a long time ago. So it'll be easier and have it update in real time as I'm editing it. But I love this idea of building these like really simple one-off things that are actually extending and using these system APIs that are normally reserved for like full applications, or that recently was made accessible with stuff like Electron. But Electron is a big application to run because it's running all of Chrome again. And then even that hides some of the APIs that OS X has to offer. So now we have access to all of those in JavaScript. It's pretty awesome. So that's it. It is pretty big success for this project this week. So this will be on the on my Workbench repository, and I also tweeted a gist with this. So if you wanted to mess around with it. But anyway, if you want to follow along, I'm going to be doing more projects like this, and of course all the other projects that I'm doing. So you can follow me, subscribe on YouTube, or follow me on Twitch and hang out while I'm working on this stuff. That's it. All right, later.